Test. Can you should be able to hear me? Hopefully you're able to hear me. Here, I'll turn this down. Type 1 if you can hear me. Thank you, Mr. Money Mike Madness. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Red Sea live stream. I am your host, Corbin, and ladies and gentlemen, it is Payton Tolle Day, and we're also not wearing a hat. I'm feeling weird about it. I'm feeling a little weird about not wearing a hat, Chad. I'll be honest with you. Love the video from earlier. Sadly, no so guide, but let's enjoy some Tolle. I agree, random. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good night. I don't know. Something's off with my camera right now. Let me see. Fix that. Let me tilt that up a little bit there. That looks a lot better. What's up, Jules? How you doing? We're hopping right into the game, I feel like, chat. That's the only thing we can do, right? Hop right into the game. Like, it's starting right now. At least it's a Tolle day, chat. And you know what? To be fair, the Red Sox have won 3 straight games that we have live streamed. So hopefully, there we go. I don't know why. There it is. Hopefully we can continue this streak. The Red Sox need this streak real bad. The Red Sox need us to be real good. So lock in, chat. I want you and you and you to be locked in. But let's see who's here tonight. We got Jules. I said hello earlier. Stickler, how you doing? Dice K, how are you? Mr. Money Mike Madness, how are we? DT, welcome back in, my friend. You just got eliminated. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, at least welcome back. Hopefully you can enjoy this for a little bit. Kevin, how you doing? Daniel, how are you? Assuming. Welcome in. I'm pretty interested to see how tonight goes, honestly. Did y'all just see that strike? That was like 7 inches above the zone. And you're not even, Taylor Ward's not even challenging that. Wow. What's up, Crutch? Yeah, he's testing that. I would test it. Hey, keep tossing it high. You know what I mean? Keep going up. We'll see what ends up happening. It's kind of a weird time to be watching the Red Sox, I feel like. I was thinking that. I just showered because I just came back from the gym. But I was like, it's kind of a weird time to be watching the Sox. It feels like the Red Sox on the field are getting desperate. It feels like the front office is getting desperate. It almost feels like being a Red Sox fan right now. You're in a little bit of like a calm before the storm type situation where like the storm is kind of past and you're sitting here being like, man, that sucked. Right? But you see another one in front of you and you're like, oh boy, I really hope this isn't as bad as we think it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like the bad start is kind of like I've kind of come to terms this isn't a good Red Sox team. Right? I think I have. The problem is they're not a bad Red Sox team. They're just a team that can't put it together. They just can't put it together. Right? They just can't do it. So like I sit here with that and I'm like, okay, it's just they are who they are, right? You've kind of accepted that. But now it feels like you got that other storm coming, which is a desperate front office right now. Totally, brother. I'm gonna need you to find the strike zone tonight. We can't be walking Orioles hitters. We just can't do it. There's a lot of power in this lineup that is going to take advantage of that. What's up, Robbie? Welcome in, my moderator. Can't wait to see me the next Godfather. I don't do my hair, or I do my hair one time on stream, and that's the first comment about it. Crazy. All right, Payton. Payton has thrown 9 pitches, 2 strikes. One of them was a ball that was called a strike. Gonna need a little bit more than that. There's one. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Young team with the wrong leadership. Blame Breslow and Kennedy. I agree. WC40 is a spark, but too hot of a head. I honestly don't think so, man. I don't think Contreras is like too much of a hothead to be a leader. I actually think the clubhouse really likes Contreras. What's up, Dennis? Like, I think a lot of people really like him. And you know what? To be fair, random, a lot of the leadership the Red Sox have had recently, as much as Bregman Stickler, thank you so much for subscribing. As much as the Red Sox have, Devin, thank you so much for subscribing. As much as the Red Sox have had leadership, they haven't had that like vocal F you. Like Chris Sale was a vocal F you. You're doing this wrong. We need to do this right. Right. They haven't had that in a while, and I think Contreras is low key kind of that, like a Dustin Pedroia-esque. I'm gonna get in your face when I need to get into your face kind of player, and that's a good thing in my opinion. I think you kind of needed that. The problem is you don't have any balance with it, right? You don't have any like Bregman was a good balance of being sort of this guy behind the scenes as well as this guy on the field. Contreras is, in my opinion, more of sort of a guy on the field. So. Yeah, exactly, random. Like, yeah. Contreras is a really, really good leader. He's just not the exact leader the Red Sox need right now. Like, even if you got someone to counteract that a little bit, I think it'd be perfect. Is there a website similar to Baseball Savant for GM, one where they calculate total WAR acquired players and determine if a GM is good or bad? No, that would be a fantastic website. At least not that I know of. I don't know that you can do by GM on Baseball Reference. You might be able to, but I doubt it. That'd be a really fascinating conversation to have, I think, actually. 94 on the fastball from Tolle. Don't love that. Little worried. I said it to the members today. I am a little bit worried about fatigue with Tolle. Last time out was the most pitches he'd ever thrown this season, and the last time he threw 90 plus pitches, he came out and did not look very good. That was almost really good. It was a good turn. If I was hired as a GM today, what would I realistically do? Sell. I would realistically sell because the problem is right now, even if this team gets hot, right, the best case scenario is you're sneaking into a wild card, right? Which obviously I would rather have than a team that ends the year really, really bad, right? But the problem I have is it's going to be such a seller's market at the deadline because there's not going to be a ton of time. There's not going to be a ton of teams that are true sellers. So if you are a true seller, you are going to get a lot in capital, right? And I think what you could do if you sell at this year's deadline is not so much like full sell and just get prospects. I think you can sell and retool for next year. Like I think you could get a legitimate like bat for Aroldis Chapman, a controllable bat for Aroldis Chapman. So that's what I would do. I would trade Chapman. I would trade Gray. I would listen on Whitlock. I don't think I'd trade Whitlock, but I'd listen because, again, the market's going to be stupid. I think I would listen on Duran. Ugh. Man, this Orioles team can just hit, dude. You want to get a good bat from a contending team, though? You're not totally wrong, Robbie. When I meant a good bat, I more so meant like either a guy in AAA that they think is close, or even AA that they think is close. No, Versili, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I trade Whitlock, but I'm at least like if there is an offer, even if there's an offer you can't refuse, it'd be tough. I should apply for the newly created role of translator for AI Breslow to human. That would be low-key kind of a fun role. It really would. Like, imagine Breslow's like, we need to congregate the AI model center data that has us percolating on the capitalization of fastballs in the upper left quadrant of the zone when it comes to batters whose handedness is left. I'm like, okay, ladies and gentlemen. What he's saying here is you look on this video screen here and you guys can't hit an up and in fastball for the life of you. I'm pointing to all of you lefties. It'd be like that. You guys ever see that old skit with Key and Peele All right, there we go. A little caught stealing. That's good. The old Key and Peele skit where it's like Obama and then Obama's angry translator. That'd be me. Guys, all I did was slick my hair back. I am not the Godfather. You're the third person that's equated me to the Godfather. I like the concept of buying because of how uncompetitive the AL, but I don't know what we have. I just don't think you can. I just don't think you can buy right now to the degree that you would need to buy to be a contending team that wouldn't totally dismantle the future of your farm system, right? And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I like prospects. I love talking about prospects and kind of imagining what they are. I'm pretty okay with trading a majority of prospects. Like I'm cool with it. Like I was okay with trading Christian Campbell coming into last year. Right? I was cool with it. But when you're in a situation where the free agent market next year doesn't look great for hitters, when you're in a situation where you're very far, like there's a good chance that if you buy right now, you still end up having to sell at this year's deadline because of just simply where you're at. That a baby Tolle. Hey. Do I think Bayo has a market? Like first inning issues are clear, but a 1 ERA with an opener. Yeah, I think there's I think there's a market for Bayo. I think it's last year. I think you could have really had a market for Bayo. This year, I think it's very, very centralized market for Bayo in terms of like it's going to be teams who have to be very comfortable that they know exactly what's wrong with Bayo, and the Red Sox just can't find it. Right, looking like Mr. Gabagool. Tony? I don't look like Tony. If anyone in The Godfather, I look like Al Pacino right now. I'm trying to think if I look like anyone from The Sopranos. I don't think I do. Maybe like young Maltasani. So like the Brewers, yeah, the Brewers would probably be interested in Bayo, but you'd have to imagine you have to imagine they don't want to pay for Bayo. Like maybe the Dodgers, like I'm trying to think of like a team that would be comfortable trying to fix them. You know what I mean? Because next year you're paying them $16 million. Like the Brewers aren't going to do that. You told me I sounded like a typical Southerner. You do sound very so. You do sound like a Ford F-150 commercial, looking like the main character from Madia in the. You won't get much. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you're going to get much for Bayo, but I do think there's a market for it. I look like Christopher Maltasanti. I look like early seasons Christopher. I could see that. He did slick his hair back in the early seasons. What could we get for Gray? You get a dude. So Chapman, I think if you put Chapman out there, Chapman's the most sought after name on the market. If you put Chapman out there, no, in my opinion, there's no doubt. You put Gray out there. I don't know that he's the most sought after. I don't know that he's the most sought after starter on the market, but he's got to be up there, man. If anything, the Joker. I look like what? Like Heath Ledger's Joker. I feel like that's kind of an insult. The Brewers might not care as much in the Bayo dollars because they only care about control. They'll trade him before the contract ends. Yeah, that's true. Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Now that is a legitimate. That a baby. Duran has been really good lately. Now Contreras has 2 years left. I'm not trading. Contreras is the one older veteran I am not listening on. You have no answer to first base. You're already worried about leadership, right? You're gonna trade away another leader. Like to me, Contreras is the one name that has to stay. If you're gonna trade anybody, like it feels like the list is like you start listening on Duran, you start listening on Bayo, you definitely trade Chapman, you definitely trade Gray. I think you try and trade Coolum or maybe just DFA him, but Coolum might have a little bit of value. Again, like I said, like it's been like 2 bad outings. He's been really good. Giovanni Moran, maybe, right? Breslow went all in on analytics and got burned. These guys are players, not robots. Yeah, the story that came out. The story that came out again, I went over it and I said it in my video, right? In my mind, when Breslow got here, it was okay. This is finally we're getting a balance, right? We're getting a balance of he's a super analytical guy, but he's been in the clubhouse. It was 10 years in the big leagues, right? Like I thought he'd be able to communicate. It's not so much the analytics. It feels almost like it's the translation of the analytics that are the issue and not so much the analytics themselves. But then Theo goes in and he says they're being too analytical. And anytime Theo says they're being too analytical, you have to be too analytical. Yeah, Versity, you would be. You can't you have to trade. You can't just trade to trade, you know? Like you have to have a reason if you're going to trade these guys. Like Contreras, like Chapman and Gray, in my opinion, your pitching's really strong. And I think you have development in a closer role that you could probably do it to get rid of Chapman, right? Gray, I think you lose, especially if there we go. Come on, send him home. Yeah, all right, Willie. No power Willie knocking in runs. Let's go, baby. Huge. Dude, Willie Abreu crushes Chris Bassett. I think he was hitting like 416 before he actually hit today. That was crazy. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they're lobbying against him. But where was I? Oh. And if you trade Gray and Chapman, I think again, you know, they may be prospects, but like I keep looking at like an Ethan Salas in San Diego who's probably going to be ready next year. I keep looking at like, you know, is there anyone on the what was it? Who was the other team that was interested? There we go. That's going to be a double. Abreu's getting oh no. Safe. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, wait a damn minute. Little double down the line for Contreras. 2 runs in. Immediately going to Craig Breslow. They're going to review this. He did look out, I'll be honest. Abreu, Anthony Maya, Rafaela, the core. I would say, yeah, that's probably the core of this team right now. What's up, Eli? I can't tell if that hand is in there. I don't know why he sent this, honestly. Epperson. Epperson's just not a good third base coach, dude. Is that not blocking the plate? He's out. In season or at the end of the season. If they fire him at the end of the season and give him the deadline, I'm going to be kind of heated, actually. I'm doing good, Eli. How you doing? Third base coach, way too aggressive. I just feel bad for Epperson. He's not a third base coach. Like, he's just not. He was the manager of the Sea Dogs. Like, he's not a third base coach by trade. He's learning on the job. But we live in analytics, hell. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? That's fair. Poor Chad Epperson. I do understand the mentality. Look, we're going to be unbelievably aggressive because we can't score runs. So I get that. But I don't know, dude. What's up? Oh no. I'm just gonna call you Rama. Go to Rama. Is that right? Go to Rama. It's French. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that he should be. I don't understand if the Red Sox, if Craig Breslow fired this guy because or fired all the coaches because he thought that he could get better coaches in here. Why are we sticking with the same interim coaches? Like, go find somebody. Go find a third base coach. Go find somebody who's done it before. Like, how many times are you gonna let this happen? Like, you're just like, that's what's driving me most nuts about this coaching staff is you just mismatch. Like, it's a mosh posh. It's a kibosh of different players, like coaches. It doesn't make sense to me. Can I call you go? You're at the game? Let's go, baseball. Give us some updates. Epperson sucks at his job. Manny? We can't get Manny in there. Classic Massa right there. Classic Massa right there. Thoughts on Chad Epperson? I said this already. I just feel bad for Chad Epperson. He's not a third base coach. He's not, right? So if but like it's like this same conversation we have with Chad Tracy, right? People blaming Chad Tracy for things like in game. Like, it's fair to critique it. Obviously very fair to critique it. But to be like the guy sucks at his job, it's like, well, yeah. You know what I mean? He's essentially a prospect over there at third base. And even more so than Chad Tracy, who's a prospect in the dugout itself. This guy's never done third base in his life. He's out there like, go? You know what I mean? He's out there like, sure, dude, come on in. You know? Oh, you want to go? Why not? Yeah, come on. You know? You know, like, oh, you want to try and score? I don't know. Wilson Contreras on a ground ball to left field. What was the one that was just egregious? It was Mickey Gasper, I think. Was it Mickey Gasper? Yeah, it was Mickey Gasper. Right, where he's like, come on. And Mickey Gasper got thrown out by like 20 feet. I mean, like the guy at home, I can't remember what team they were playing. Was it the Braves? It was Wong. Maybe it was Wong then, yeah. It was Wong. You're right. I think it was, what was it? The Braves. It was at home. He got thrown out by like 10 feet. You know what? Maybe it was the Twins. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. He was at home. The catcher literally just he like set up shop. You know? He met the catcher at home, was just like, oh crap. Like, I'm out by 40 feet. This guy Chad's just guessing. He's looking up at the scoreboard. He's like, we're down and run, give it a shot. You know? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, you know what? This time we'll give it a shot. Like, that's what he's doing. Yeah, I don't think he's allowed to do that. I mean, no one yelled at him for it, so maybe you are allowed to do that. I don't know. Just such an odd. It's such an odd team right now. It really is such a weird team. Because it's like this weird mix. It's just this weird mix of like talented rookies and good veterans, but then a bunch of like role players that just like aren't where they're supposed. Like Durbin shouldn't be an everyday. As much as I like Durbin and he's been really good lately, like, he shouldn't be an everyday third baseman for a World Series contending team, even though he's on the Brewers last year. But like, he was like what, their 8th best hitter last year. So it's just a weird team. Combining with the coaching staff, combining with what's going on in the front office, it's just odd. He had so much time he was able to watch all your scenes in The Sopranos. Yeah, well, you guys miss me. I'm the bouncer at Bada Bing. Can't believe I'm living in a world where coaches can streak. Pardon? I don't see any Pedroia in Durbin. Like Durbin's they had a baby. Woo, little cut piece for Payton Tolle. I love Payton Tolle's cutter, dude. They're doing the K's for Tolle. Ooh, I like that. With Crochet out, they do got to do it for somebody, I suppose. I mean, right there it would have been second, third with one out. And if he doesn't in that spot, Moss is good at flying out to right field. It's true. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. It's just situational awareness. You know, it's not situational awareness. Most rookies struggle their second year having to do that with a new team and be expected to do a lot is unfair. Right. Like I'm not saying I have been, not that I've been super supportive of Durbin, I'll be fair, but like I've kind of understood his situation the entire time where it's like, it's just like, Lou Merlone, dude, Lou Merlone's, I like Lou Merlone in the booth. I know there's been some critiques about him this year. I don't really get the critiques. I think he's been pretty good this year. I'm having fun listening to him. Mostly because I know Lou Merlone cares about this team. Don't got the speed. Isn't Durbin's pretty quick. Tolle. Good comeback inning right there. Hot damn. Oh, versatility. You're 100%. You're 100% correct. I'll take it a step further. I think the expectations put on a lot of these guys were unfair. Like, I don't think it's just him. I think Marcelo and Roman got way too many expectations put on him. You know? Like, I think honestly the three of those guys, you could say it. Like I think it was fair to put expectations on Abreu. You're in your third year in Major League Baseball. This is when you take your step forward, right? Don, I think it's fair to expect things from, again, third year, needed to take that step forward. Marcelo, Roman, and Durbin got a lot of pressure. And we talked about the Roman pressure coming into the year. Durbin criticisms come from what we gave for him. Partially, I mean, when you're the worst player, quite literally the worst hitter in Major League Baseball through the first 2 months of the season, that also has to do with it, you know? Let me see what Kyle Harrison is doing. Stop trading with the Brewers. I'll be honest, I don't think the Quinn Priester trade is all that egregious. Like, I'll say the Kyle Harrison one is tough, but right, exactly, versatility. It's not even, I don't even know if it's career years. I think it's just if they are as good as we need, as good as we expect them to be, like Durbin, if Durbin was as good as he was last year, I think this team's in a much different spot. Does that make sense? Like Durbin was a mediocre hitter last year. And he was the worst hitter in baseball through most of the first 2 months of the season. If he's an average bat, that's 50% more production you are getting at third base than you got the entire first 2 months of the year. That's a lot of production. It's a lot of RBIs. That's probably, I mean, how many one-run games has the Red Sox lost this year? You've Durbin 50% better. You know what I mean? You might want to watch the Red Sox game tomorrow. Why? What's going on tomorrow, Mighty? I know, Assassin's so tough. It's so tough. He'd have an 800 OPS. Yeah, he would, but that's also because he wouldn't be required to be your fourth or fifth best bat. Yeah, I would agree versatility for the most part. For the most part, I would agree, right? I don't think post Memorial Day check-in, the Red Sox are dead. The Red Sox are dead. I agree with the idea that the trades themselves weren't egregious. I think ultimately what, in my opinion, the problem with the trades is what specifically I think with the Kyle Harrison one was the Brewers the only one to recognize that Kyle Harrison could be a good pitcher at the major league level? Like, were there other options available instead of, the route that you took? Like, if you went to the Marlins and the Marlins offered you like Otto Lopez or Xavier Edwards. Is it Xavier Edwards? I think it's Xavier Edwards. Edward Xavier, whatever. One of those two guys, if they're sitting there and they're saying, "Hey man, we'll give you that," but um you decide to go with the Brewers and Caleb Durbin, then I think it's an issue, right? Because again, you go back to like, what would Quinn Priester's role be on this current Red Sox team? One, he's on the 60-day IL, and people are ignoring that, and he doesn't look like he's getting much better. In fact, he's so bad on his rehab assignments right now. The Brewers just sent him to their FCL league to see if he could figure some things out. That one doesn't bother me at all. Harrison, it's like, okay, instead of trading for Durbin, and you had Harrison, and you believe that Harrison could have been this, would it have been a smarter idea instead of to trade for Sonny Gray and take on $40 million of his contract to go out and get one of these, Schwarbers? Or obviously this is a larger contract, but in terms of AAV per year, it's about the same, right? Schwarber, even Bregman, and I understand Bregman's had a down year this year. I think we all expected Bregman to have a down year this year. He's not built for a stadium like Chicago. We talked about that. His home runs are going to go down. He was a perfect fit skill-wise with the Boston Red Sox, and I firmly believe that he would be a better hitter with the Red Sox here than he is in Chicago. Could you have done that? Could you have instead kept Harrison on the field? Marcelo is like a ball hair away from being good. Like it is warning track fly balls every time this guy's been up the last two games. The Hunter Dobbins dad comments. Yeah, I've seen some fact checking on the Hunter Dobbins dad comments. I like, to some degree I understand what he's saying, but like if you look into it, he mainly focused on the fact that the Red Sox kind of avoided using Hunter Dobbins' sinker. His sinker's getting hit pretty hard this season, both minor league baseball and major league baseball. Like, the sinker isn't the reason that Hunter Dobbins has been solid. And also, he has, 8 innings in major league baseball this year? Like, it's tough to sit there and be like, Dobbins' dad knows what's going on, I don't think that's really part of the equation here. I don't know. My issue with the Harrison trade was, is that the best value you could have gotten? And did you, more importantly, did you know that Kyle Harrison had this in him, right? I think everyone kind of understood Quinn Priester could be a good pitcher at some point. And I think most people understood that Kyle Harrison could have been a good pitcher at some point. Right? No. Random. It's not that they didn't let him work a pitch. He was using the sinker. He was just getting hammered. So if you're a professional baseball team and you're trying to get a player to the next level, the pitch that's getting hammered is probably the one you're going to go, hey man, why don't we stop relying on that? That's not analytics, right? That's just common sense. It's the same conversation with Bayo the other way. Bayo's cutter is being hammered this year. All of us are sitting there saying, hey man, why don't you just get rid of that thing? Right? So it's common. That's not analytical. That's common sense. And if he's going to another organization, his sinker's now working, okay, fine. But again, his sinker is getting hammered in the Cardinals organization in both minor league and major league baseball. So for his dad to point that out, to me, it's like you're just looking at a small sample size where he's been fine. Right? And so I do understand what you're saying where it doesn't help. And I think more so what it does is it just sort of adds fuel to the fire, His sinker, was it bad for a whole season or half a season? I don't know when they got rid of it in the Red Sox organization. I'd imagine relatively quickly. Your goal is to have these guys in Major League Baseball. Moved him to the third base side, rubber races, arm slot, and the pitchers are tunneling better. No, I didn't see that. But that's again, and if you go back to the article Tim Healy wrote about Craig Breslow, right, the one that I thought was pretty damning, but it still had some, if you actually read it, it still had some good stuff in there about There's still some good stuff in there about like things Breslow has done well. And like we sit here and we hammer the Kyle Harrison trade because it's, it looks so bad for the Red Sox, right? But around the league, like in terms of executives, they're kind of like, yeah, that's fine because the Red Sox have been so good at developing other pitchers. So I think it's also something to consider. Like we could sit here and be like, man, that Kyle Harrison stuff sucks, but you've got Payton Tolle on the mound. Like would Payton Tolle be up here if Kyle Harrison was here? I don't know. You know? I don't know. So it's an interesting conversation, the Harrison stuff. But I feel like I'm just talking in circles at this point. You know? What kind of haul do you think we get this deadline? I personally think Craig commits to selling a really big haul, Logan. A really big haul. EP Alonso for 2+ bases. Well, I hope he gets it for you. I hope it's not damaging. I hope it's some random double that means absolutely nothing. That's what I hope. Blaze Alexander is the only player on the Red Sox or on the Orioles that has faced Payton Tolle. He's 0 for 2, but with 2 walks. Interesting. Yeah, but the return's the problem, especially when pitching has so much value. Yeah, but that's what I've been saying this entire time. I said like my problem isn't trading Kyle Harrison. My problem is trading Kyle Harrison, and my problem with trading Kyle Harrison is, again, you talk to like my main thing is, if you did you, the Red Sox, understand his value when you were trading him? That's my question, right? Did you think that Durbin, Monasterio, and Siegler would have been worth it? And again, if Durbin is a league average bat, I think we're having a different conversation. I do, right? Because the Gold Glove defense over there and a league average bat, you're probably not over 500. You're definitely not over 500 actually, but you're probably, instead of 9 games out, you're probably 5 games out or 4 games out or whatever. But like if you had other offers on the table and you decided to go with this one, I don't know. What was Durbin's OPS plus last season? I think it was dead average, band. Same idea could apply to the Dustin May trade. Yeah, it absolutely can. It's the same logic. Were the Dodgers the only one who were going to give you a starter for James Tibbs? And I use starter lightly. Ugh. Yeah, Durbin at a dead league average OPS plus. It was a 721 OPS. Like if this was Caleb Durbin's stat line right now, you're probably in a much better position, right? 256 average, 334 on base percentage, 387 slug, 721 OPS. That is almost 100 points better on the batting average, almost 100 point better on the on base percentage, exactly 100 points better on the slug. Like that, you would be in a much better position. Small sample size. Last year, I don't think last year was a small sample size. It was a full year. It was 136 games. Like, that's not a small sample size. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. Like, you're going to have to rectify it, I think, but I don't know. To determine if a bat is league ready. Yeah, I don't disagree. But in terms of can we expect this again? I don't know. Can Breslow save his job at the successful deadline? I think the only way Breslow saves his job is if he buys and the Red Sox make the playoffs. That has to be the only way. It has to be. I can't see another way in which I can't see another way in which he saves his job. Breslow might not get to the deadline if we are selling. Yeah, I agree. I'm just, again, I said in my video, what was that, 2 days ago? Yesterday? Man, Tolle's so good at getting off contact fly balls. When's the member stream? So I got to look. I put out a poll, Spencer. I don't know if you saw that. Because I missed May, we're going to do two things this month. So take a look at those options. Make sure you vote on that. I'm going to look after the stream and we'll figure out the dates once I figure out what you guys want to do. Breslow saving his job and saving the team need to be the same thing. Yeah, kind of. I think that's an accurate statement. I don't know, dude. It's just so frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. I really don't want to. You voted watch party? Okay, cool, Spencer. I don't even know what I think the recap and then trivia is winning right now, actually. If you guys are members and you haven't voted, make sure you guys go to the community page or the post page. I forget what it's called now. Make sure you guys vote on what you want to do this month because we're gonna be doing 2 member streams of some sort. Well, actually, no. One of the options is you get a watch party plus every video for the rest of the month earlier than everybody else. I appreciate that, Crutch. I feel horrible missing last month. It was such a long month for me. Is Duran back? I hope so. You wouldn't let a guy on his way out sell your player for future pieces if he's not the CBO of the future. Breslow needs to be in the hunt and buying to keep his job. Yeah, agreed. But that's what scares me the most, right? We got the report. We're going to be talking about the report tomorrow. If you guys haven't seen it yet, Buster Olney went on Just Baseball Media, the Just Baseball podcast, and he essentially said the Red Sox are desperate. They're desperate to the point where they're saying they're going to take on a bad contract just to get a bat in this lineup. That scares me. Because that feels like the move of a very desperate man and a very desperate man who's willing to do something really stupid. And it would be fun to get a name in here, right? It'd be really fun to get a name in here, but you're looking at some of these contracts that are holding you back now. I mean, Story and Massa are still contracts that you're seeing from the Chaim Bloom era that are costing you opportunities. So, I think worst case scenario is Breslow tries to save his job. He trades for some just absolutely ridiculous name. That's cool, but saddles you with a guy who's either aging or not performing well and a big contract. And then he doesn't make the deadline. $5 super chat from Mike. He said, get Tatis. We have the pieces. I would love Tatis. If it hasn't happened yet, I just don't think it's going to happen. Dude, who is this guy? Who is Caleb Durbin right now? Buddy, that is not the Caleb Durbin we've seen. That's 6-game hit streak. It's worth signing anyone right now. That's the problem, right? I agree. I don't think anyone would disagree with the idea that it's not worth taking on a big contract right now. It just isn't. The only one who's going to disagree, though, is either A, an ownership group that wants to make it look like they're still trying, or B, a desperate GM trying to save his job. And my even bigger fear with this is that he goes really big. Again, Mike, thank you for the $5, by the way. I don't think I said thank you enough, but thank you. But Mike goes get Tatis. Tatis would be a ton of fun. That would be a name that you get and you're like, okay, fine. Well, we could deal with we could deal with it, right? But I'm just imagining a Mike Trout. It keeps coming to my mind, and it's you get that contract and you give up, I don't know, Duran and Bale for it. You could have gotten young players who are much less value-wise that you can build on next year for these guys, Still has only a 190 average. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It is going to be very difficult for Caleb Durbin to get himself back up to like a 250 batting average. It's going to be really hard. I don't know how many times I have to explain the drive line thing to you, dude. People just refuse to believe that drive line isn't evil. And if that's supposed to be Castellanos, Nate, I need you to not think about that. I need you to not think that way. $5 super chat from Mike. Thank you so much. I will not be doing that, Mike. I appreciate the $5 super chat, though. You know what? If you want to do that, go for it. I don't think they would go for yeah, but it was just sort of a hypothetical versatility. It would take more than that to get Trout. But that's just sort of a hypothetical conversation. I see a lot of people bringing up Matt Chapman too. Baby Durbin taking second. Ask Robbie about his driveline thoughts. I you know what? I love Robbie. Great guy, great YouTuber, great YouTuber. What do you want me to do about that? Like I don't really care what Robbie thinks about driveline, Well, do we really need another bat? Yeah, you need another bat. You do need another right-handed bat. Kind of badly, actually. You don't foresee Matt Chapman being overwhelmingly... The difference between, I think, Matt Chapman and Durbin is that Matt Chapman, I think... Plus, you could put Durbin at second base, but Matt Chapman, I don't think, is going to be a guy who's not going to... I mean, he only has 2 home runs, but he's 21 RBIs. Yeah, it's not much better. But can you get, 124 OPS plus 2 years ago, 120 OPS plus last year, and that's in San Francisco. What does that look like on the Red Sox, After careful consideration, 07 first light, absolutely clear. Can I say something without you getting, without people getting upset here? Actually, I don't know how many gamers we have in the chat. I don't love the new Batman game. I thought it was really boring. What if Bledsoe goes full out and brings in both Trout and Tatis Jr.? Obviously that would spark something, but you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to get both those guys. You think for Mike Trout it would cost Arias and Ianson? No. At this point, no, I don't think so. Pass on Tatis? Oh, I love Tatis. I would bring Tatis. Type of move I could see. Yeah, I could see Chapman. I just don't know that. I don't know that the Giants would want to send him over here. Willy Adames is another name I keep seeing too. Adames would be one that scares me, I think, more. Tatis and Bogarts would be sick, actually, low-key. Maybe Adames would. I don't know. I really wanted Adames. When was he a free agent? 20. What was it? 20. He was a free agent 24 going into 25. I guess I really wanted him then. I suppose. But, dude, 30 home runs last year. On pace for about 30 this year. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will do 007. Isn't Adames on a $182 million contract, though? Probably. Exactly $182 million. And he's only 1 year into it. How old is he? He's 30. So you have him until you're 35. I guess that's not terrible. Oh, the Franklin Arias hype has reached the next level, says Tyler Milliken. Like this is, but again, this is my fear, right? What you're talking about is bringing in an aging veteran on a big deal. I don't know that JD would want to be a hitting. Like we always talk about like previous good hitters at Fenway coming in and being hitting coach. I'd love it. No, don't get me wrong. If they tomorrow are like, hey, in order to fill the the hitting assistant hitting role, we're bringing in JD Martinez, I'd be psyched. I don't know that he wants to do that. Like I don't know that JD Martinez would be into it. I don't know. Like I feel like yeah, maybe I don't know. But I'm down. Listen, if the Red Sox want to get rid of Breslow, I'm very down for Eddie Romero. Very down, actually. Oh, get out. Get out. Yeah! Willie! Barely over the foul pole will take it. Willie Abreu. Huge. That ball was 400 feet over the pesky pole. Beautiful. That's what we've been waiting for, dude. When was the last time Willie had a home run? My God, that ball was smoked. Absolutely torched. I love Payton Tolle. Payton Tolle might be my favorite. This is totally besides the point, but my favorite Red Sox player in a long time. Willie Abreu absolutely smoked that baseball, dude. Oh my God. Woo. Even gave the little Fisk point there. Thank you, Indy. Thank you. It's Big Willie. True. That right there is Big Willie. Should have fired Dombrowski. Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm curious to see how his tenure ends with the Phillies, though. Although the Phillies are crushing it right now. I'm just curious. Like like this isn't me saying Dave Dombrowski should have been fired. Dave Dombrowski should have been here. But like is the Phillies the longest tenure he's gonna have? Cure for male loneliness, Willie Abreu. Sure is. Wilson Contreras doing a full bat flip on a walk kills me every time. Like this dude took ball forward, just he just tosses that thing into the dugout when he gets on, dude. It's so funny. Chris Bassett is so trash. I know, dude. Hopefully. Hopefully Chris Bassett is so trash. He's been bad this year. But the Red Sox have made a really good habit of making really bad pitchers look really good again. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything too crazy here. I'm not gonna get too hyped up about it, but yeah, man, he needed that. He needed that bad. It was Detroit was Dombrowski's longest tenure. What is it? I'm curious about what the kind of because with the Red Sox is different, right? He won a World Series. He had the winningest team in World Series in Red Sox history. Obviously looked at really fondly and should be. I'm curious what Detroit thinks about Dave Dombrowski. Like, do you think there are people in Detroit saying, "Man, I wish we still had Dombrowski"? I guess right now maybe, but I'm saying in general, it's so hard with Dombrowski because right now everybody thinks about all the winning seasons. But we also found ourselves in a tight spot because he emptied the farm and he went two prospect GMs, and we went to two prospect GMs. Yeah. That's my point, right? There was a piece from was it the same Tim Healy piece? I can't remember. But he talked about how like Dave Dombrowski's departure from Detroit wasn't exactly as like coveted or emotionally charged as they love him. Interesting. Yeah, because the article like this isn't me making any grand declarations. This is just what I read. Is that like when he left them, the farm was so bad it took years for them to be comfortable winning again. So I don't know, right? I don't know. This is I'm totally off topic now, but I'm just sort of I'm chit chatting about the idea of like, you know, say the Phillies have a lot of aging contracts, right? Dombrowski's probably gonna be there for a while. I'm just curious as to what I'm my only point is I'm curious what Philly fans will think about him at the end of his contract. Was that the end of the contract so he wasn't fired? Then yeah, it's a little bit of a different story, I feel like, for sure. GMs come and go. Players win games. Plenty of dumb GM and coaches carried by stud players. True. Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong at all, Tom. They put together a Tigers that should have won a World Series. I'm not sure how they didn't. They were stacked. True. They were really good. He's loved there, executive of the year. Yeah, I'm just this isn't me. This is not me. I had a baby Massa that's gonna go first to third for Contreras. All right. Yeah. Again, this is not me crapping all over Dave Dombrowski. I want that perfectly clear. If Dave Dombrowski was still the GM of the Red Sox, I think they probably would have been one of the greatest dynasties of the 21st century. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I think Mookie's still here. I think you've won a lot of games. I actually don't think you have Devers, but I think you have Xander and Mookie still here. Totally besides the point. He did hold him at third, yeah. There are limitations to Epperson to Epperson's sense, dude. He knows Wilson Contreras runs like a refrigerator on wheels. I know, Steven. Gotta suck. Why do the Tigers stink this year? I feel like they shouldn't stink. Why do they stink? Is this a similar Red Sox situation where everything's gone wrong? I forgot Victor Martinez was on the Tigers. He was on the Tigers for a bit, huh? They've had a lot of injuries too. Yeah, I mean, I know the Scooble one, but like their lineup's relatively healthy. Green, Torkelson, Torres has been injured, I guess. Dylan Dingler's been in there a lot. I don't know. It just feels weird to me that they're so bad. Like also in an AL Central that's not very good. Although Cleveland has like what the sixth best record in baseball, so to be fair, I was a hot corner guy actually. Me, yeah, and was injured. Oh, all right, then never mind. Maybe it is injuries then. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, grand slam right here would feed families, dude. I need it right now. Do it, Isaiah. I'm curious to see how the Red Sox use Siegler, by the way. I feel like we haven't talked about him yet this live stream. I'm very curious to see how they use him. I keep seeing that he's a switch hitter. Like especially like Tyler Milliken keeps referring to him as a switch hitter. So did GG on Twitter. He only bats lefty. So if he's a switch hitter, he's not batting righty anymore. But like anyways, I'm curious to see how that works out at the major league level. Siegler's a good player. I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Epperson is yeah, Epperson is sending Massa till the cows come home. He's looking at Boston center field or second base right now, and he's saying, brother, if there is a baseball hit in between anywhere, you are going home. Is Gasper actually good, or is he just the new Abraham Toro where he has 50 good games and falls off? That's a good question, Steven. Answer is I don't know. Our left-handed batters need to use the wall. Yeah, that'd be nice. Siegler's actually a guy who uses the wall a ton. Or would. Mazza. Steinbrenner was evil. No need for another him. We need an owner from San Diego passed away, one who splurges but knows the players by name and is personable. Yeah, I'm curious. You know, we heard the room. We heard from David Ortiz that John Henry's worried about this team, worried about the direction of the team more specifically. You think if we asked, like, say we got John Henry on this live stream right now, and I didn't let you guys ask questions because you guys would torch him, and all I asked was, hey, John, you think you could name every player on this 40-man roster? You think he could do it? How many realistically, how many of the 40-man roster do you think John Henry could name? How many though? Do you think he could get 50%? Like I think he'd be able to get Story because I imagine he doesn't like Story. I'd imagine he could name Massa because I imagine he doesn't like Massa either. Duran's definitely been in his office a few times over the years, so I imagine you can name him. You get the position players. Yeah, that's probably. I think that's probably. I think you get the position players and. I get the position players and like maybe the big names in the rotation. Like I don't think he knows early. I would be kind of surprised if he could name Gray. He definitely could name Suarez because he wrote him a check for $130 million. Like I think that's a guy he knows. Same with Crochet. Like he wrote him a check for what, 100, 150? I think he'd probably do that. Henry does. Yeah, I think Henry watches these games. Or at least is aware of these games. Is it just me or does it feel like Bailey might get a crack at manager if Breslow stays? I don't know. I think he likes him too much as a pitching coach right now. I wouldn't be shocked. I'll say that. Henry takes back control from Breslow. Yeah, they'll definitely use it. You'll definitely use that. If you think he can't name Sonny, that change it to 8. I don't think he can name Sonny Gray. I don't know. He probably gets the position players, some of the pitchers, probably not early. Probably not. I bet he knows Tolle. Probably not bullpen guys except Chapman. Yeah, the bullpen would be tough for him, I think. Yeah, I kind of don't want him to move on from Bailey either. I like Bailey. Bailey's an interesting name to me, but I do think. Oh, there's one base hit for 2000s there. Does Henry know Wally? Imagine Henry's like, yo, you guys, if you guys seen that giant green. You guys see that giant green dude that walks around this place? Who is that guy? Are we paying that guy? You know? Yeah, I agree. Versatility. I agree. If you want to show you know what? If you want to show you're mad about this situation, you want to change the situation. When you fire Breslow, because I think at some point you do fire Breslow, you need to be at that press conference. You know? You need to be at that press conference. You need to be talking about what you're going to do and why you thought this was such a disappointment and why you're worried about the team and how you're going to fix it. You know what I mean? Like that to me would be the time. Like he was at Breslow's introductory, but he didn't speak. I remember that. Like it was Breslow and Kennedy, and then he came up after and took pictures and whatnot. Like if you're gonna if you're gonna fire Breslow right now, in my opinion, the only way, or not the only way, but one of the ways you're gonna be able to hire anybody, like it's gonna be tough to hire somebody, is to show that you're able to do that. Like as much as we talk about the pitfalls of being a GM for the Red Sox, one of the other ones that isn't really talked about much is no matter what, you are going to be the guy taking the arrows for ownership because they don't want to talk. Like that has to be part of it. You know, ownership makes a big decision. It's Breslow and Kennedy who go out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No, I didn't hear that story. E. I'm not surprised though. Cora would sign a CBO? I don't think he would, dude. If I'm Cora, I'm done with this organization. I'm enjoying my summer break, and then next year I'm going to coach the Phillies or the Mets or whoever. He's no reason to come back here. He just doesn't. That baby Marcelo. By the way, I'm loving Marcelo at shortstop. The bat hasn't come around, but I'm loving him at shortstop. Like he looks like a shortstop of a contending team. Does that make sense? He just looks like one. Like smooth, like on the field, he looks like a contending shortstop. Money always talks. Potentially, but there's also like, especially with Cora, there's a dignity aspect too. Like he's not afraid to say that. I understand they love Cora, but if they loved him that much, they wouldn't have let Breslow fire him. Arias is the number 10 prospect in baseball. He's number four. He's the number four prospect. He's the number four prospect in baseball America. He's been an absolute demon, dude. If Breslow turns things around by nailing the trade deadline, then he will be safe. Yeah, I think that's probably the answer. Woo! I thought that was dropping in for a second. My God. Yeah, I don't think Cora comes back for a while. He also doesn't need the money. Like the dude was the third highest paid. Was he the highest or the third highest paid manager in baseball? Like he's chilling, dude. He doesn't like money talks to a certain degree, but when you're wealthy like that, that gives you the ability to not have to listen to the money, you know? They brought him back after the Astros. Yeah, but that was different because that was him fully out of baseball in a way that he couldn't be in baseball, you know? I don't think I think that's a different situation. Totally different actually. Cora has the means to reject the offer even if they paid him over fair market value. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Meek. Like you sit there, like once you get to a certain level of wealth, and not that Alex Cora is like Juan Soto rich or anything, but like he has the ability to be like, dude, I don't need to work again a day in the rest of my life, which means I'm doing things I love, you know? Yeah, I think he is too, Dave. Please stream every game. We need your luck. It has been a little bit crazy so far, but we aren't going to jinx anything, chat. It's only the middle of the fourth. All those other investments? Yeah, true. He was the third? Yeah, okay, so I was right. What was he making a year? It was what, like 12 million a year? And he's making the entirety of that contract. So someone looked it up and it's like what was it? It was a team has to offer him a fair market deal, and the Red Sox pay the difference of the deal. So if he's making $12 million a year, and let's say the Padres or whoever offers him $6 million, the Red Sox still owe him $6 million a year for the rest of his contract, and then that team picks up the $6 million, which is interesting to me. Oh, the Blue Jays just made a trade. The Blue Jays are acquiring Simon Woods Richardson from the Minnesota Twins. The former Jays top prospect sent to Minnesota in the Jose Barrios trade is coming back. He was DFA'd a while ago, though. 3 runs at Fenway might as well count as a win. True. Not wrong. They're averaging 3.2 runs per game at Fenway. So if they score one more run, it should be a win, yeah. Oh, Bassett's out of the game. Wow. Did not see that. You guys see that? I wonder if something's going on with him. What? Yeah, that's what I was just reading. Versatility. First round pick for the Jays. Bass has to be hurt. That was my thought too, Robbie. Although he's been kind of bad all year. 56 pitches? Yeah, maybe that's it then. Woo! Good eye, Marcelo. Dude, Marcel's hitting 162. Guys, come on. I can't do my hair once in a while. I can't not wear a hat once in a while. He was kind of stretching in between. I wonder if that's why the manager came out and spoke to him. So I wonder if that's what it was. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get a update at some point during the game. Over under 3, how many Red Sox players get All-Star nods? It'll be under 3. Mostly because Red Sox fans aren't going to vote this year. Wilson Contreras should make the team. Ugh. Kind of a bad bunt there, Durbin. You said baseball. I'm glad someone's enjoying the hair, dude. It's gonna be under. So, in my opinion, the deserving players for an All-Star nod are Contreras, Chapman, and Tolle. I don't think I'll do and Cedon. I think Cedon should get in there too. I don't think Cedon gets in because Red Sox fans aren't voting. Contreras should get in even if it's not on the popular vote. It should be on the like the manager vote. At Chapman, I think is the only one that's going to get voted in. Actually, I don't know that you can vote in relievers. Can you? Are you voting for? You vote for closers? Like I can't even remember. I can't even remember, dude. I'm trying something new, chat. I'm trying a little bit something new. Just instead of wearing a hat all the time, maybe I switch it up and start just rocking some hair. You would take early over Tolle? I would not. Maybe another. Who would be the other? The other I think would have to be Cedon. Is the only one I could think of. You never vote for pitchers? I thought you voted for the starting pitcher, but maybe I'm an idiot. Say Disney, like Cedon. Well, I don't get the nickname though, Lynn. If you can do something like that. Oh, members, remind me. I had an emote I was gonna make. I was gonna make a Mario for both Tolle and Gasper emote. You have 2 live streams wins and you decide to change things up. What are we doing? It's a good point. I'll tell you why. Because the Red Sox started losing again after our live stream. So I said, so here's the thing. The Red Sox lost their series against the Braves, right? And I was like, we got to do something. And then I went to a wedding where I needed to not put my hat in, obviously. You can't wear a hat. And then they won. And then they beat the Cleveland Guardians. So I was like, And the next day after that, I didn't wear a hat. They won again. So now I'm like, okay, well maybe, and yesterday I did wear a hat. They lost. So maybe it's the hats that have been throwing people off. I don't know. Campbell's soup cam needed. If Christian ever comes back up, I'll do it. See what I mean, chat? Sometimes you got to think with your head a little bit. Sometimes change is a little bit scary, but necessary. What is in that bag? I don't even know what's in that bag back there. I have no idea. There's a football down there. Never put a hat on the bed? Why? You take a healthy Valera? Juan Valera? What about Juan Valera? Ah, stay done. Is that going to get down, though? That's going to get down, though. All right. Heck yeah. They haven't fared well. Devers, Casas. Yeah, man. Maybe I don't make any more emotes for specific players. Oh my lord, dude. I was going to make a Bowser and Mario one, but yeah, that track record is horrible. That might be a good idea. Yeah, maybe for a little bit we ease off on the emotes for specific players. Maybe we wait for like the playoffs. Was it true that they kicked some guys out of Fenway for wearing paper bags? So from what I've heard, it's a security risk, which in this day and age, I have a feeling a lot of teams would do that. I don't think it would be just the Red Sox. I don't know if they actually got kicked out or not, though. No one's been able to confirm it. Let's go, Robbie. Hell yeah. Like I personally have heard nothing about them getting kicked out. If they do get kicked out, we'll talk about it, but I've heard nothing about it. Just speculation, rumors. But again, from what I've heard, if they did get kicked out, it was because of security reasons, which is a stupid reason, probably an excuse, but I do think a lot of teams would say the same thing, especially this day and age. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of the reality. Where are their paper bags right now, E? What team would have paper bags on their heads? Colorado? Colorado doesn't care enough to have paper bags on their heads. Detroit? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Let me see. Paper bags MLB 2026. The Mets. Yeah, the Mets have been wearing paper bags, yeah. I wonder if those guys of the Mets got thrown out. Your brother's at the game? Let's go. Yeah, if that's happening in other ballparks, they're not getting kicked out, then that's stupid. Saints fans start wearing them again. I have a question. If you think if they tried to come in with paper bags in their heads, they got kicked out, or they come in normally and then put paper bags in their heads when they got in? Because I could see them trying to get paper bags in and then being like, no, dude, you can't wear a paper bag into the stadium. But like, if you get in and they have a visual on who's sitting there and whatever, you know, then it's like, okay, why do we feel the need to kick those guys out? Oh, we smuggling your paper bags, Corbin? Right, 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 right. Rocky Security's an old guy named Ernest. I don't even know Rocky's had that. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I just like in my head, I was like, okay, if if other teams in Major League Baseball are like, yeah, it's a security risk, then fine. You know what I mean? But if other teams are letting it happen, then yeah, that's ridiculous. We seem to be seeing some Red Sox hits to left field tonight. Don't jinx it. Ooh, make him look stupid early. Or Tolle. Make him look stupid. Look at that strikeout. Oh, ugly, dude. That's the first curveball he's thrown. 60% fastball, 20% cutter, 20% sinker. I love Tolle, dude. 1% change. John Henry does a press conference at a paper bag. That'd be so funny. Tolle's a man. I love Payton Tolle, dude. I love this guy. This is my fear of the deadline, though, is that Brezzo's gonna get desperate and like sell one of these guys. Most people wearing paper bags are embarrassing themselves. You know what? I don't disagree. I think the paper bag thing is kind of dumb, but you should have the right to do it. You know, John Henry doesn't speak to the media. That's correct. You know, like it's been happening for years. $5 super chat again from Mike. Can we just get some claps to the chat for Mike, dude? Unbelievably generous tonight. $5 super chat. He said pirate security is just Polish grannies smacking people with purses until they leave. Imagine, dude, that would be way worse than just regular security kicking you out. Imagine some old lady just beating the crap out of you with a purse that you know is filled with like 40 pounds of random crap. In America, I guess we do have the right to be dumb. Yeah, sure do have the right to be really dumb. That has been on display for years. The thing with Tolle is he's always had a fastball, needed a couple of secondaries. This year he finally has it. My favorite part about Tolle's secondaries is they're just other fastballs. Like, they're literally just other. Like, he's like, yeah, dude, you developed this sick off speed pitch. What is it? It's a cutter. You know, like it's not like, and it's working. I'm not sitting here saying the guy is doing something wrong. It's just hilarious. I think we're low on that. He does have the curveball, true, but he barely uses that curveball. Dude, the Grady purses hurt like hell. You got to think, yeah, the Werther's original in there. There's a bunch of random change from the Reagan era in there. You've got a checkbook in there that's in like a leather case. That's definitely in there. Like 4 different lipsticks. A key to a 2002 Camry that has like 50 different house keys on it because he can't remember which one's which. That's gonna hurt, dude. Oh yeah, the hard glasses case. Forgot about that. Red Sox are still a loaded starting pitching back end bullpen. Yeah, it's 100% true. Oh, true. I forgot they had the lighter. They definitely have. They haven't smoked again since the Reagan era. Actually, no, that's a lie. They probably gave it up during the Clinton era. But they still have that lighter in there just in case. That's gonna hurt too. Yeah, and it's one of those. It's one of those Zippo like silver lighters too. Totally can't find it, dude. Marcelo, what the hell, dude? What just happened? Lost in the lights? Man. At least it's a base hit. I know, dude. I knew someone was gonna point that out. He still looks like a contending shortstop. He still. I'm gonna say it. He still looks like a contending shortstop. I I'll maintain that take. Tough night for me, dude. I get exposed for the emotes being a curse on players. I say Marcel looks like a contending shortstop, but he absolutely botches a play. Ugh. Tough night to be Red Seed, Chad. I'm getting torched because I look like a soprano. Well, this is gonna be an issue. Okay, hold on a second. We're logging in, chat. We're logging in, chat. Oh my god, yeah, the Aquanet hairspray. Man, my grandmother used to lather me in that, dude. My hair would come back like a metal slide, basically. Who do you think has stronger legs? I crochet, I think, but Contreras low-key botched that one too. Can I talk bad about the Sox? They need to play better. Yeah, Contreras should have made that play. Marcellus should have made that play. This team stinks, dude. Some may say it is butt cheeks. The highest of butt cheeks. Forgot about Narvaez. Ah, crap. That's right. Dang it. Another one. No chance of an Abreu All-Star? No, it's not going to happen. Sure is a Mount Visit Mark. I appreciate it. No doubt a half-empty pass through It depends on where this grandma is coming from. Pittsburgh? Maybe. Adley scares the hell out of me, dude. I don't know why, because he's been fine this year. Not like great, but fine. But like he scares the hell out of me. I think we're only going to get Tolle for 5 innings tonight, Chad. That's brutal. That's brutal. The B on the hat isn't for bosses, for booty cheeks. Yeah, Chad. The B on the Red Sox hat isn't for Boston. It's for butt cheeks. Butt cheeks. Big old butt cheeks. B-O-B. Oh, please. Thank you, Abreu. Woo! We're out of it, chat. Now we can talk normal about the Red Sox again. I wonder if they'll send him out for a 6. Or bums. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, over 80 pitches is worse. The Boston Bums. Weren't they there was an era where they were called the Boston Bums. What era was that? The 50s? Was it the 50s? Got out of it, thank God. Tully's at 84, so probably not. You went to 90. What was that? 94 last? At some point, as much as Tully's still a rookie, and I get it, you gotta start pushing. Like you're starting to push Conley a little bit into the 90s, 100s. You've been pretty good about Tolle not doing that. 1960s, I was close, Michael. I was close. The Boston Bums. Even though Marcelo has drip, dude. Listen. Marcelo looks like a legitimate baseball player. I'll say that. I thought Bums was Brooklyn Dodgers. It's really any bad team whose city or team name starts with a B. Mostly city. So you've got Boston, Brooklyn, kind of it. Oh, it is the Dodgers. Ah. Oh shoot. Hold on. I'm looking it up. I swear to God, the Boston Bums was a thing. Baltimore? Oh, right. Baltimore Bums. With the sock as an arm sleeve? Yeah, true. Marcel looks like he's been playing shortstop for the Red Sox for years. He's been like an all-star the entire time. It hasn't been, but Boston Bums. The Boston butt is a cut of pork, chat. That's all that's coming up. Boston Bums. What if I do Red Sox? Red Sox. Nutritional value of the Boston Bum. Oh, it's me. Look, I'm the first thing that comes up. That's pretty funny, actually. We got Breslow as a bum. That's about it, though. The Brooklyn Dodgers were them bums? Yep. Apparently, it was the Brooklyn Dodgers. What era was that? No, those were the idiots, Spencer. You need to get ready for Spurs Knicks. Good luck. Who you got? I'm taking the Spurs. 40s? Ah. Late 30s. It was like 50 plus years. It was when they left Brooklyn for LA. Okay, now we're all over the place. There we go. So gonna be do not push this, Wilson. Wow. Oh my God. Wilson. Brother, where did he learn to slide like that? 1937 to 1957. Mark with the exact dates. I appreciate you, brother. Look at this man. Just sliding away from him. Should not have done that, but it was awesome. Need a Massa home run here, huh? Look at him. Look at him sliding away. Oh, he tucks the arm. Where is Wilson Contreras been all my life, dude? I love watching this dude. I love watching Wilson play. Knicks winning would be fun. No, dude. I don't want the Knicks to win at all. Like, at all, actually. Wish we drafted Wilson. Like, imagine if Wilson was a lifetime Red Sox player, dude. He would be a cultural phenomenon here in Boston. The years the Yankees don't win the World Series, they're all bums. True. All true. The Yankees are always bums. You think Press will get canned if he trades Wilson? It's 1966 is the third oldest stadium. That's kind of wild, dude. It kind of sucks that like some of the history of this game is being just absolutely torched for newer, more modern stuff. And I think that's coming from a Red Sox. Like if I was a Diamondbacks fan and the stadium was sick, I probably wouldn't think about it all that much. Although to be fair, the Diamondbacks came in what, like the 2090s. So like kind of a tough example, but like my point is, it feels like you're losing some of that history of the game, and maybe that's just the Yankee or the Fenway, What's the right word here? Family bias, probably. Buying a shirt with his name on it. Yeah, dude, Contreras is so sick. I love Wilson Contreras. If the Knicks win, I don't get to talk about how they haven't won a championship from the 70s. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Oh my God, he lost it. Go, Mickey. What just happened? He pulled a Jaron Duran. Oh my God, he pulled a Jaron Duran. No way. Is that the last time that that's happened? Was the Jaron Duran, Raimel Tapia Grand Slam? Look. That's literally Jaron Duran. That's the same. Like panic. Where, he says. He goes. Dude, Yoshida, give Yoshida a minute. Told you would said Masa. Yeah, true. That was low key pretty close. like that was kind of close, Masa. A little bit. If that throw was on point, you might have been able to catch him. Who is this guy? Me? Oh my God, IKF. Who is IKF, dude? Chat. Is this real life? Are the Red Sox actually playing well in real life? What is happening? Why do I not stream every game? Is the question I need to ask myself. Because the Red Sox would be like at least over 500. Oops, and an IKF gets a double. Oops. Don't worry, we'll give up 15 tomorrow. Because I'm not going to be streaming, dude. It's a day game. I can't stream. Red Sea Magic. So, chat. Something about us, the core of Red Sea Radio, coming together and watching a Red Sox game is just, it's something that even this bad Red Sox team can't disturb. You know? Same guy that hit 2 home runs and cost the team the World Series last year? Who? Why do I like IKF? He's killing it. Listen. Got out of hand quickly. We like when it gets out of hand. Hopefully the bullpen doesn't blow it. Wendell. Guys, listen. There's a lot of bad vibes in Red Sox Nation right now. When they're winning like this, we can't have bad vibes like that. Not yet. If it's true, Corbin, then I'm sorry you're going to have to quit your job. You're too valuable to the Sox. If y'all want to pay me what my job is paying me, I will. Remember the great streams you had during the 1915 run? Brother, those were some times. It was just me, you, Mike McCreevy, Daryl McDingle, Chris Costanza, Swilly Willie. We had a time, didn't we? Didn't we, Indy? Streaming from the dugout. They brought back the Larry O'Brien course? No way. Jack Riley Gillick was there, dude. Oh, right, Steven. Okay. You would have a friend in high school named Chris Costanzo? No way. I tried to think of like an Italian name. Remember that one time Cy Young threw a perfect game? One of my favorite memories on the channel. Dude, you guys remember the first day they called up Ted Williams and we were like, look at this stick, dude. Look at this stick. He's not even built to play baseball. This guy, what's he doing in left field? Why is Teddy Ballgame getting playing time over Tris Speaker, dude? You know? Boy, were we wrong about that guy. Oh yeah, when they traded for Jimmy Fox, dude. Do you guys remember the live stream when they traded Babe Ruth for that ticket? Crazy times, dude. That was the biggest stream on this channel. That was bigger than when the Red Sox traded Rafael Devers. Meyer was the first out of the inning, 2 more to go. That's true. And Caleb Durbin, the all-new Caleb Durbin. Yes, sir. My God. My God, Caleb. Who is this Caleb Durbin guy? Who is he? What have the Red Sox done? Or what has Caleb Durbin done? Man, I miss what we were called the Americans. Remember when we were the Red Stockings, dude? Good times. Red Stocking Radio. Still under the Mendoza line. You gotta listen, give the guy a chance. I'm like that crying Brittany. Leave Brittany alone. Caleb Durbin all of a sudden look like prime Moogie Betts. Remember when our logo had a face? Oh my God, chap. You remember that live stream? Remember the live stream when we first watched a game together on TV? That was crazy. Red Sox lost, but it was crazy. What do you think the Red Sox should do in the Tommy Kahnle situation? I think it's tough. I think I give Tommy Kahnle a chance. But he does, like, the underlying metrics do scare me a bit. But I think, especially when you have a guy like Ryan Watson in the bullpen, I don't know. Personally, I think it is worth giving him a shot. But you're losing Watson. We were the Boston American radio, then Robbie started Pilgrim's Radio. That is true. That's a true story of how we both got our starts. Me and Robbie were enemies to start it off. Came together, though. Now, all of a sudden, he's hitting the ball. To be fair, oof. To be fair to that conversation, it is crazy, Kalen. It is crazy. But this happens a lot. Like, JD Martinez had a private hitting coach. Devers had a private hitting coach. Like, it's just, and it happens around the league a lot too. It's not just the Red Sox. Like, sometimes it just takes somebody who's not around it all the time. Oh, he's gonna be safe. Safe. Yeah. That's how we play, boys. That's how we play. That's hard-nosed baseball right there. I actually do kind of like guys doing it too. $2 super chat from Lynn. He says, do you believe in, say, Disney magic? Brother, I appreciate the $2. Can I admit something? I don't get the Say Disney nickname. It's fine. Listen, you keep pushing it. Listen, if you got to sell it though, Lynn. You can't just keep saying it. You got to sell it. Suarez has 50 pitches this inning. That's insane. Have they batted around the order yet? Have I seen the 2019-08 Red Sox logo? No. We need Poppy as a private hitting coach next week. Why is this guy Monasterio pimping home runs? Why is Andrew Monasterio hitting 1,000 home runs, dude? 8-0, chat. 8-0. By the way, can I say I love Ceddanne Rafaela? Oh, that was smoked. What is true about his stereo agreement? Well, that's a different conversation. What an inning. We're having ourselves some fun tonight, chat. What was the score of the last game? Could someone do a little research for me? What was the score of the last game we live streamed? I think it was a little bit of a blowout too. I love the Rafael that doesn't chase much. I do too. Ceddanne has really turned a corner on being consistent. Yeah, it really is. It has felt like, it really felt like Ceddanne has figured out a way to sort of level himself out, you know? Maz says Ceddanne has poor baseball IQ. Does Tony Maz like anything ever? Like, has there ever been a moment where Tony Maz likes something? Like, that's a genuine question. Like, is there an example of something that, like, the Red Sox have done that he... I remember even like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, flashbacks to the 71-8 1875 Red Sox. Hey, we don't talk about that team. Maz only likes championships. I guess fair, but... I mean, everyone likes championships, you know? Maybe that's just me. That feels like an easy cop-out. Like, I hate everything except championships. It's like, okay. Everyone only likes championships, you know? Was the 7-1 win over the Royals the last live stream? What was 1 week ago? Here's what I'm going to do. We'll figure this out. Wow, Tolle's back out. This stream helped them win. Chat, listen, I wish I could do more, you know? All I'm doing is my part. No, it was the 8-0 win. It was the 8-0 win against the Braves. Isn't that weird? If they win 8-0 tonight, things are going to get interesting. If they win 8-0 tonight, again with us streaming, something might need to happen that my fiance is not going to be happy about, but we aren't going to talk about that until we actually have to do it, because if I tell her about it now, things are going to go up. But if I come to her with like a little bit of like evidence, like a lawyer, you know what I mean? She's a judge. Maybe we do something about it. But to be fair, I also like spending time with her too. A balance of life and work, chat, is important. Even though this isn't really work. All I'm doing is sitting here shooting the shot with you guys, you know? While Ceddanne and Abreu have developed, most fans have mentioned trading them. No. Also, no, Robbie. I said if someone wants to pay for our honeymoon, I will invite them to our wedding. While Ceddanne, yeah. Listen, Ceddanne and Abreu need to be cores of this team going forward. And I've said that all season long. And I will continue to say that. Because they are dogs. No, whoa. Living in sin. Yeah, that's the guy with low baseball IQ, dude. I have to be like Ben from Fever Pitch. Wasn't the entire point of that movie that I shouldn't be like that guy? Here comes 6 runs. I mean, Watson. Watson's about to come in. Yeah, dude. Come on now, Tolle. I'll pay for your wedding if you have it at Arby's. What just happened? Could someone tell me what just happened? I get gifted Red Sox season tickets next to the dugout and you live in Boston, I'd be living in film. Oh, yeah, I'd go to almost every game. Okay, money. Math, I can do math. Geography, that was a really, really tough math geography quiz. I could do a geography quiz and do well. A U.S. geography quiz, I think I'd nail. He did balk. That's the thing. He did balk. Like he did. Look at, they're holding up the hand. He did balk. Get back in the dugout. What's that? Is it Brandon Hyde? Is that the name of the coach for the Orioles? Am I right there? Brandon Hyde? Brother, you're down 8-0. You are down 8-0. Can we let this ride, please? I'm still getting them wrong. Guys, Craig Albernaz is the manager of the Orioles. I thought what happened to Brandon Hyde? They fired him last season? I'm so bad with managers in baseball. I'm really bad. Like I don't know many managers in baseball. Like I know Craig Counsell's the Cubs. I know Boone is the Yankees. I know obviously Chad Tracy's the Red Sox. I think that might be it, dude. Oh, Kevin Cash is Tampa. Dan Schneider, is that Toronto? I'm horrible with it. Horrible. See Tolle get through the 6. Whoa, brother. Come on now. Oh yeah, Dave Roberts, the Dodgers, duh. I know the Giants won too. Hold on. Tony Lavello? No, Dusty Baker is not. So, oh yeah, Don Mattingly. I feel like I can name like half of them. Did I say Boone? Yes. Yes. I don't know who's the Astros now. Who's the Astros manager now? Is someone you know? Like someone notable? Dennis. Hey man, at least you got to see those. The only Clemens I saw was in 08 when it was Clemens Schilling. I saw that, like that matchup with my mother behind home plate. It was pretty cool. But I think that's the only time I ever saw Clemens pitch. I definitely never saw Pedro in a Red Sox uniform against the Red Sox, I don't think. Because they didn't play each other, really. Come on, Tolle. Right here, brother. Ah! Okay, right here, brother. Saw Clemens in 86. Man, that's got to be electric. How many warm up pitches do you think those guys start on the bullpen? Like how many do you think Ryan Watson's got right now? You think it's like 40 or 50? You think they only do like 30? Man, if Tolle didn't have that first inning, he's probably going 7 tonight. Come on, Tolle. Get out of this. Finish it with a punchy right here. That's got to be the end of it. Got to figure out the see-through pants. The see-through pants are tough. Yeah. At least 10 in a hurry and then one every 10, 20 seconds while waiting. That's crazy. They warm for 50 pitches? Dang. 98, he's done? No, dude. They're keeping him in the game. I have Louis Tion's autograph too, actually. He coached me. I went to a charity like event at the Fisher Cats, and him and Oil Can Boyd were there teaching me how to pitch. Didn't help much, obviously. I'm sitting behind a desk now, but it was pretty cool at the time. Clearly a horrible teacher, dude. What up, shooter? Saw Wakefield too a few times. Yeah, Wakefield I saw a lot. There we go. 99 pitches for Payton Tolle. 0 earned runs. Stand up. Behind the dugout needs a standing ovation right now. They were clowning the Knicks just now at Spurs Stadium. Let's go, dude. I hate the Knicks. Our staff is championship quality. It sure is, dude. It's been championship quality for most of the year. There was like the first, I would say, 1.5 turns to the rotation. It was like, man, these guys actually stink. We're screwed. And they just locked in since then. There have been some blow-ups here and there, but that's going to happen on 162. They know they can't win unless the starter goes full 6. They had to keep him in. True. Chad Trae's just like me, dude. Red Sox win when I'm not wearing a hat. Guess what? I'm not wearing a hat the next day, you know? Rangers solid enough. I think I'd put in a playoff situation, shooter, I'm putting Suarez at least over Early, maybe over Tolle too. It'll be interesting to see if Tolle stays in. He definitely won't stay in. He's at 100 pitches. He's not staying in. Games like this make me see the potential of the team, but I remember we can't live up to it. Yeah, it sucks, dude. It really sucks. It sucks so much. Like, cause it's these nights where like everything feels good, everything's clicking. Like there's so much talent on this roster. You know there is. Like Cedon's a talented player. You know Wilson Contreras is a talented player. You know Wilyer Abreu is a talented player. You know Jaron Duran has talent, right? You know that these guys can hit. Marcelo. Like it drives me nuts. But his face gets red out of nowhere. Does happen quite a bit, actually. Corbin, if I had to rank the Boston mascots, what would I rank them? If I had to rank the top 5 MLB mascots, who would they be? Man, dude. Okay, Boston mascots. I don't even know their names, dude. Bottom has to be the New England Patriots mascot. That guy's a dork. And then it's probably, I think Wally's number 1, dude. Wally's at least the most creative. Like the Bruin the Bear, I think it's Patriots bottom, Bruins third, the Leprechaun second, Wally first. If the playoffs started tomorrow, who gets your first 3 games in what order? Suarez is my starter game 1. Suarez is definitely my game 1 starter. From there, so well, no, he's hurt. You said if they started tomorrow. He can't start. Crochet healthy in this scenario? I think the Philly Fanatic's more iconic than Wally the Green Monster, dude. Either way. Okay, so I'm gonna go off of your question, which is because I think it's more interesting, right? Because I think it's obvious if you're in a wild card series, 3-game series. There we go, Wilson. Dude, Wilson's been an on base machine tonight. What the? No. There you go. Get back there. I think if Crochet is healthy, it's very obviously it has to be. I think Crochet, Suarez, Tolle. I think that's what I go for here. If Crochet's not healthy and it's just simply tonight, Suarez is your number one. Tolle, I think, is your number two. Is it early or Gray that's number three though? I think it's Gray, dude. I think it's Gray. My my fear with early. My fear was with early is the home run ball. You know, he's been great this year. Don't get me wrong. Like still fantastic, even when he's given up home runs. But in a playoff setting, one home run could mean the entire difference in the game. So I think, and Gray gives up home runs. Don't get me wrong. Um, but it's been a little bit less. If things go down, if things go south, do you see the Red Sox shutting down? Only if the injury keeps getting worse, Christian. In my opinion, the worst thing the Red Sox can do is shut Crochet down this entire year and expect him to be good to go next year, right? You need to at least get him some innings here that would allow him to, sort of keep himself mentally prepared for a full workload. Does that make sense? Like in my opinion, the worst thing the Red Sox can do, honestly, is shut him down for an entire year. It feels like I don't know. To me, the idea of shutting down your ace pitcher for an entire year and then expecting him to be able to throw 200 innings next year feels kind of ridiculous. So I think even if you're out of it, you still maybe you limit him quite a bit. That's something you could absolutely do. But yeah, to have him not pitch to me feels like a bad idea. Dude, that's literally the Jan Duran play. I love that, by the way. If a player just loses the ball in the sun, or the lights or whatever, like if that happens, it just counts as a hit. Like I think that's hilarious. Be honest with you, maybe put Tolle in as a high leverage reliever. I was thinking you do that with early, dude. Like Tolle's been one of the best starting pitchers in baseball this year. I can't validate being like, yeah, we're gonna put for early specifically because that's who it would be. Unless you want to do Crochet, Suarez, Gray, but I don't know. What's the under over on how many runs the opener gives up in the first tomorrow? I put the under over at 2. Early doesn't have late inning stuff, though. I don't know, dude. Like, his fastball's been pretty good this year. If he lets that eat and it's up to like 96, 97 in a 1-inning, 2-inning burst, I think he'd be pretty good. You truly believe this Red Sox team makes the playoffs? I'm sorry. I just can't see the offense ever finding a consistent level enough with how many role players and how many moving parts they have to make a postseason run. I just can't see it. And I would love to be proven wrong. And I will be so happy if I'm proven wrong. It's so hard for me to see how how, it makes sense for the Red Sox to make the postseason. It's all going to depend. Like the pitching, I think it'll be fine the entire year. It's going to depend on whether or not the offense can find consistency, and I just don't know that they can. I don't know. But we'll see, Dave. I love the positivity, man. I wish I could be as positive as you can be. It might help if Crochet and Roman get just a little bit. If your two highest ceiling players can come back and play well, yeah. Most of the league is at 500 or less. I get that. I do, Dave. But the longer you stay 500 or less, the further that gap gets, right? A week ago, you were 1 game out of a playoff spot. Now you're 5. Which means I get you could swing back the other way. But my point is, the more teams you put between yourself and a postseason spot. Because here's the thing, right, is you sit there and you look at the postseason, sort of landscape, and you go, okay, you're 4.5 out. Right, okay, cool. You can make up 4.5 games. But the problem with that is it's not only that you have to be 5 games better than over this stretch than the team that's in the postseason. You also have to be 5 games better than every other team that's playing for a postseason spot right now, right? So the further back you get, even if it's 4, 5, even 6 games is feasible. But the further you get back, the more teams you put in between yourself and a postseason spot, the harder it gets. A massive win streak before the All-Star game? Yeah, dude, you got to be... No, versatility. I haven't made mine yet. In 1899, the Cleveland Spiders played 50 consecutive road games. Maybe the Red Sox could try that, dude. At the rate they're winning, the Red Sox would be the number 1 team in baseball if they only played away games. Come on. Marcelo is literally so close to being a very good player. So close. That's his 3rd ball tonight. He's doing exactly everything he needs to do. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. Hitting the ball the other way, putting the ball in the air. It's a mile an hour too slow. That's the 3rd fly out to the track against the monster he's had in the last 2 games. Driving me nuts. Again, he looks the part, dude. Ugh, it's driving me crazy. Weight room. Hit the weight room, brother. Game by game win and good things will happen. True. Marcelo warning track Meyer. Yeah. Close. Just drives me nuts, dude. It's just like you see it there. You know it's developing. Do you think we'll be able to keep this up for the rest of the season? I don't know. How many times have you said that, Dwight, this season? How many times? See the meme of the Trop on top of Fenway? And it says, because of the damage, the Sox will play for the rest of the year on the road. What is Patrick Sandoval doing? He's doing a rehab assignment, I think, this week. I don't know what you do. I genuinely have no idea what you do as a organization with Patrick Sandoval if he gets healthy. Like, genuinely, what do you do with him? Like, who are you replacing this rotation with Patrick Sandoval? Bayo? Maybe, but then what do you do when if Crochet gets back? I don't know. Trade him? No, dude, his trade value's got to be astronomically low. Even if he's healthy, dude, with his health history, it's got to be astronomically low. The injuries in part have turned this team into the next man up. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It definitely has. Not even in part. It definitely has. I hope Sandoval heals because what the Red Sox need is a left-handed starter. That is it, Chad. If the Red Sox need anything, it's left-handed starting pitching, dude. They haven't had enough of that in years. I'm already looking for something to do our victory shotgun with. I need like a shotgunner. Taco Bell, dude, don't talk to me about I had a small dinner. Don't talk to me about Taco Bell. Maya really hasn't seen long stretches of MLB pitching without the season-ending injury or whatever. Oh no, I'm not like, oh my god, Marcel Meyer is gonna be terrible forever. My point is, it's not really crapping on him, honestly. It's just that you could see the adjustments being made. It's just not quite there yet. 8-6 still gives us a chance. Will you stop that versatility? Do not. These are the one times in the week we can be positive about the Red Sox, because there's the one times in the week they actually do something. Payton Tolle's the GOAT. I love Payton Tolle, and I'm not afraid to say it, chat. He's a king amongst men, a god amongst kings. You know what I'm saying? Type of dude. Maybe I'll get a Payton Tolle jersey, chat. Thoughts? There aren't any jerseys I don't have in terms of like colors. Maybe I'll get a Payton Tolle gray. Nah, I don't love the gray jerseys. I'd love a blue jersey, but those bad boys are out. We love Tolle, but Breslow might ship him away. So what's interesting is the one player that has been kind of said that, hey, this guy will not be traded is Payton Tolle. Like, Breslow loves Tolle. As a lifelong Red Sox fan, I, for one, appreciate Versatility's pessimism. If you get a Tolle jersey, it has to be green. Yeah, it might have to be. If Tolle gets traded, I will riot. Dude, if Tolle gets traded, unless it's for, like, Bobby Witt Jr., I'm going to throw up. Let's not get too crazy. Tolle gave up 7 hits in 6 innings plus 4 walks. What are we doing, Versatility? Can I enjoy somebody once in a while? Can I? Six innings, 7 hits, 2 walks. Versatility, thank you very much. 2 walks. My God. Can you say buzzkill? Versatility doing a little bit of trolling tonight. Yeah, he didn't look the best he's ever looked, but he still looks good. He still looks good. He's still my little prince. No, we aren't allowed to have nice things. Nobody is allowed to enjoy anything around here. Do you hear me? That made me feel like an actual Sopranos member, I will say that. I will say that. That's the first time this stream I felt like my hairstyle matched my reactions. AI answer of at least shoulder inflammation. Who had shoulder inflammation? Who had shoulder inflammation? Watchers gets bet back to appease the fans, even though, dude, if Craig Breslow trades for Mookie Betts, that may be the funniest trade the Red Sox have ever made. It would be even funnier. Oh, crocheted shoulder inflammation. To be fair, that's AI 1 and 2. Crochet's not even dealing with shoulder inflammation anymore. It's it's a low grade latch strain. Is that what it is now? Like, shoulder inflammation's gone. If it was just shoulder inflammation, he'd probably be going on rehab starts here. What did I just walk back in on? Don't worry about it. What murders? It was lap, and now it's shoulder too. Where is that information coming from? Did that just come out? No, he went on. He originally went on with shoulder inflammation. Now he's dealing with the lat strain. Yeah, you guys. No. The latest we have on Garrett Crochet is the low grade lat strain. There's nothing. There's literally nothing in here about more shoulder inflammation. Yeah, there's nothing on here about. No. That's backwards, chat. No. He had shoulder inflammation. That's what he was originally on the IL for. Now it's the mild lat strain. And he can start throwing again once he's asymptomatic. Now you guys got me worried. I'm double checking. Because what would that be? Before the game? Sorry, chat. I'll read you in a second. I'm just trying to see if there's any more Garrett Crochet news, but there isn't. Yeah, I don't know where like versatility. I don't see it, dude. Can you give me like a name? Like who would have said it? Did Sedan just knock himself out? By the way, while I was researching this, did Sedan just knock himself out? I thought he was gonna catch that for a second. Is he alive? I mean, he's fine. He's standing up. That was a dumb question, but need some thump in a game that needs some thump in a game that they've scored 8 runs is objectively funny, John. Oh, that's gotta hurt so bad. Oh, just right in the chin, dude. He's gonna stay in the game. I love Don Rafaela, man. I love Don Rafaela. He's just an absolute baller, dude. But he essentially got uppercut by the Green Monster and just got absolutely smoked. And it's like, you know what, dude, I'm good. Pull me back in, coach. What percentage would I personally give the Red Sox at this current point? 20%. That's what I thought, Robbie. I thought he was knocked out. That was crazy. I was asked what being a Red Sox fan's like for your coworker. I responded, it's like watching the Patriots lose a game to a Pop Warner team. Yeah, it kind of feels like that a little bit. Woo! Out of the inning. Say Don, brother. You are a sicko. There's no way he's staying in this game, dude. Take him out. Who do you put in the outfield, though? IKF? Do I think Epp finishes the season as third base coach? Probably not. I just feel bad for him. He's not a third base coach. He was a manager before this. It's what I call a shortstop. Hey, man, that's a dude who looks like a major league shortstop. I've been saying it for a minute. Ryan Watson is why we can't have nice things. Okay, guys. To be fair, it's 8-1 right now. Can we just... We don't need to complain about everything right now. Where's Christian Campbell when you need him? True. True. Yeah, no, you're not gonna fire. There's no reason to fire Chad Epperson. You just need to reassign him. Yeah. Is it too much today? We were witnessing the best defender in Red Sox history. Who? Cedon? I don't know if he's in that category at all yet. Epp really should be sent back to the minors to coach. Yeah. Yeah. Give me an average guy, you know? Give me one average third base coach. We're chilling. Hitting showing signs of life? It sure is, Antonio. Got a little lucky there, but even with the luck, you were still hitting the ball well, you know? We needed this shutout to tie the Phillies first this year. Sorry, dude. After that last comment, I will say, I think Cedon has a chance to be maybe not better, but as good as Jackie. And I do think he definitely can get up there. He's got to be pretty close, I think. Dustin Pedroia is one of the best fielders in Sox history, I think. Yeah, Petey's definitely there. I mean, there's old heads, too. We aren't even talking. Fred Lynn, I'm sure, is up there. Dwight Evans, probably. Cecil Cooper at first. I think a really good defensive third baseman. Was Wade Boggs good defensively? Uke? Yeah, I don't know. I was debating Uke. I don't know that Uke is I don't know if he's he was a good defender, don't get me wrong. I don't know if he's like all-time defender, you know? What under the radar guy do you want to see wear Red Sox humor at some point in their career? Underrated name, huh? Just like any random guy? Underrated is tough. Mike, you know what name popped into my head? Matt McClain. Underrated, huh? Hunter Goodman, the catcher for the Rockies. Like, I think he'd be solid. Otto Lopez, yeah. Dwight Evans does need to be in the Hall of Fame. I will say that. Doug Minkiewicz at first. I don't know if I'd put him in all time. Deep cut, random MLB baseball player, huh? This is tough, dude. I like thinking of like guys like because underrated is weird because it's like they have to be good, but on a bad team, kind of, you know. Dude, that tropical shirt guy got his cool moment. He goes to every game. George Scott, first base. Yeah, you can add him to defensive teams for sure. I'm just trying to think of like this is hard, dude. I'm going to like the Rockies. Is there anyone on the Rockies I'd be interested in the Red Sox acquiring? No. Outside of Hunter Goodman. I think Hunter Goodman's the name. Dude, Sedan is an animal. He's a freak. And he got into second base. What is going on? He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Like he's just incredible. I don't know how he got two on that. Impressive, dude. I thought Willie Abreu just smoked his second one. Versatility. You're really playing devil's advocate tonight, huh? In the worst way possible. Dude, oh my God. Is RAC on? Hold on a second, chat. 15 hits tonight in the top of the eighth. Pretty impressive. Way too early to see who's available. The CBA thing will have an impact of the trade deadline. Yeah, for sure. Sedan now has an higher OPS and average than Willie Abreu. Interesting. Sedan's hitting 287 with a 789 OPS. Willier's at 283 with a 780 OPS. Interesting. Where's the H on the keyboard? There it is. I said age, well, I can't tell. To be fair, it was the first game of the season. You know what I mean? When was the last time we got 15 hits besides the one game versus the Orioles when they put in a position player and gave him the 10th? I can find out. Let me see here. I should be able to do this. Hold on, chat. I'm looking something up. I'm looking up how many. What's the game with the most hits this season? I should be able to figure that out here. Yeah, I can figure this out. They've done it. So they've hit more than 14 hits 3 times this year. One was that obvious one where they crushed the Orioles and they had the position player. The second was against Kansas City when they won 7-1. And the third one was last week against Atlanta when they had 15 hits and an 8-1 victory. Anytime they've hit more than 11 hits in a game, they've won every single time. Interesting. They're leaving Watson in. Yeah, dude, he's going to get the rest of this game. Sedan is 2.4. I made a video that Sedan is a star. Video didn't get a lot of traction. That's fine. I want that out there, and I want everybody to realize that Sedan is a star. Watch it at your pleasure. Red Sox dream team is Manny, Coco, JD, Uke, Pedroia, Nomar, Lowell, Tech, Poppy, Lester. Shit, so many notifications. It's an interesting. I mean, that's essentially the 07 Red Sox with Nomar in there. I think that literally is the 07 Red Sox with Nomar in there. How many players in this current Red Sox lineup are guys you see on the next true contender of the Red Sox? Cedon, Abreu, Meyer, Roman. Anyone else, I think you can mix and match. Like if we're talking like long term, like 8-7 years, whatever, those are the four. I think you could be a contender next year if you make the right moves with the way this pitching staff is right now. So I would consider Wilson in there too. On the pitching side of things, Crochet, Suarez, Tolle, early. Whitlock, Slayton, Samaniego, Moran. Oh, no way, Spencer. That's championship over. But you said lineup. So the lineup, in my opinion, the guys that are going to be on the next contend, like legit like division contender, yeah, Abreu, Rafaela, Meyer, Roman, I think are the guys. Or need to be, I think, are the guys. And then Wilson, because I think you can compete next year. The big five, yeah. Dude, an ACL tear for Jalen in what is this? Is this the first? No, this has got to be like what, the second or third game? That's horrible. Meyer needs to start hitting though. Yeah, I agree, but I think you give him some time. I think he will. Like we're seeing we're seeing the signs, especially recently, of Meyer doing that. First game. Why are we saying first game? Game. Oh. This is game one. Then that is horrible if Jalen goes down. Why did I think it was like game 2 or 3? How many games is the NHL championship going? Yesterday was the first NHL championship game? Stanley Cup? Durant's swearing. Durant's always doing something, dude. He's back on the bench. All right, well, not a torn ACL. Meyer will be better. He'll just needs to be able to hit low in the order and not have pressure. Yeah, exactly. Any Romy updates? What will happen when he's healthy? Yeah, we do have a Romy update, actually. Romy was taking batting practice today. Very encouraging sign. I'd imagine you're fairly close to a rehab assignment for Romy. What happens? What happens when he gets healthy? That's a bigger question. Does Monasterio have options? I'd imagine Monasterio is probably the name that you're going to send down. IKF, originally it was always they're going to DFA IKF, and I still think that's a possibility. But IKF, I think definitely recently, has been a much better hitter at the dish than Monasterio, and that's saying something because I'm pretty sure Monasterio still has a solid batting line, doesn't he? Yeah, he's 3 options. I think it's Monasterio. Yeah, it's Monasterio, I think. Will we win the game today? Brother, if they lose this game, I will drop dead. Send down Caleb Durbin. Durbin's been playing better too. I think the answer is Monasterio is the only one who's taken a downswing lately. It's a moving target, right? It's whatever utility guy isn't playing well. I think that's the answer. Casey Schmidt is a perfect target. Versatile, lots of control, pulls fly balls, will bring ready power. I don't know that the Giants would trade anybody outside of someone who's on an aging contract. Like if you're the Guardian or if you're the Giants and you've got a second or third baseman, how old is he? He's 27 years old. Was solid for you the last couple of years. Really breaking out this year, under control for another 2-ish, maybe 3-ish years. Why would you trade that guy when you could potentially move off a Chapman or a Adames contract, you know? Yeah, exactly. Versus he's a moving target. How optimistic am I about Costas being a piece for the Red Sox? I don't think Costas is coming back by the trade deadline, dude. I don't know. Of all the aging contracts the Giants have right now, I know Devers was really, really bad to start the year, dude. He's been much better lately. And we've seen that Devers before, dude. We've seen that Devers where he looks really bad to start the year. We think he's gonna be terrible, and he ends up not being terrible. Like he's a league average bat right now. Considering he was one of the worst bats in Major League Baseball for the first month of the season, that's relatively impressive. I'm curious about the. Let me see the splits here. Let me see the splits. Splits. Just go by month here. Splits. Handedness on my way. Weather filtered. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna go to his baseball reference. Rafael Devers. Let's see what he did. Let's see what he did in May here. Homer away. No. Show months. Okay. So yeah, he hit 207 with a 537 OPS. In May, he hit 306 with a 949 OPS. He's only played 2 games in June, but he is 0 for 7 there with 6 strikeouts. So that's an issue, obviously. But Jesus Christ, that's crazy. This dude has had 9 plate appearances. He's walked twice. He struck out 6 times. There's only been 1 ball put in play here. Good Lord, Rafi. That's horrible. Yo, Corb, when we get in that live Drake May collab, Drake, hit my line, dude. I would love to watch a Red Sox game with you. No, I haven't, Mark. Brian Bale needs to hang out with Charles Barkley. What? Depending on where San Francisco is, you might get Adames or Chapman. Probably no one else but prospects. Yeah, that's my point. Like they're not going to trade away Casey Schmidt. That doesn't make sense to me. But it would be in terms of like who you're targeting. He's a relatively interesting name to go after. Like that's kind of the name you look at when you see it. When you're talking about like controllable name that can make an impact, yeah, I think that's fair. I know, Tony. It does drive me nuts. If you had Kyle Harrison doing what he's doing and James Hibb doing what he's doing, you probably look like the winners of that trade, dude. Bryce Eldridge is who you're looking for, Robbie. How is Bryce Eldridge been this season? Good? Gotta be solid-ish, right? He's a bench role player right now, right? Bryce Eldridge. Yeah, 20 games. He's at 254 with a 794 OPS. Does he play any third base? Does he play any third base? I mean, they're not gonna trade Bryce Eldridge. That'd be sick though. Who wants Adames and Chapman? There's so much guaranteed money they need to pay off of that contract. Get any suitor? I think Chapman would fit well with this team, dude. Low key. Yeah, Eldridge. I mean, Eldridge isn't bad. It's a 757 OPS, 794 OPS. It's almost an 800 OPS. I would say it's pretty good, dude. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 18 strikeouts, but he is a rookie. I don't know. Like he's fairly solid. 25% strikeout rate, 11% walk rate, 58% hard hit rate, average exit velocity is 93. I would say that's pretty solid. Do I watch gaming streamers? If so, have you ever watched Peanut? Yeah, I'm not a huge burnt peanut guy. I like watching Tim the Tap Man. Tim, Yeah, your friend Kyle. Why don't they talk the scoreboard operator into posting the wrong inning and tell Bale he's coming up in the second inning? Dude, why has nobody thought of that? Ah, got a headache, chat. Maybe it's because I've been talking for 3 straight hours. Could be part of it. Chapman for 25 mil. What's left on Chapman's contract? Does anyone know? Does anyone know like what his contract is? Mike, are those Among Us streamers? Those sound like Among Us streamers. What happened to Tommy Canley? They've got until tomorrow to decide. What's up, Jared? So he's still owed about 100 million. Ryan, it's kind of interesting to me that they're kind of stretching this out with Tommy. I wonder if they're kind of sitting there being like, "Huh, no other team's shown no one else has shown real interest in Tommy. I wonder if we just wait." Yeah, I saw that versatility. Genuinely very, very funny. You know what's funny, versatility? I literally said that to somebody in the comments the other day. That like, oh, Greg Weisert's bad with runners on base. Have him start the game and then have Bayo come in. And then I saw the Section 10 guys also said that, and I was like, yeah, there we go. That way the Nectarine producer lobbyist will keep pressure up on the Red Sox back office. What? Hey, I've been eating nectarines too. I love nectarines, dude. Underrated fruit. I get a different fruit every week to eat after dinner. Last week was champagne mangoes. Y'all ever had a champagne mango? Will change your life. This week I went with nectarine. Solid. Not as good as a champagne mango though. Oviedo will not be better than Kyle Harrison. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, I think Chapman will hit 40. You mean pancakes? I do love pancakes too, to be fair. Pancakes are elite. I'm trying to think if I'm more of a waffle or a pancake guy. A lot of people are waffles. Pancakes are like a good fluff. Like, you know, like the diner ones that are as big as a plate and they're fluffy and you fill them with blue. I'm not a big chocolate chip guy in my pancakes, so. Wow. Okay. Kind of a tough swing and a miss there. Oviedo was still on the team. Low key, that's turning into the Tyler Samaniego trade. Like, Samaniego's been really good this year. Blueberry pancakes slap, yes. Blueberry pancakes, strawberry pancakes. Dude, nothing hits harder. And this is going to be a crazy take that some of you guys are going to be like, dude, what? Nothing hits harder than a strawberry banana Nutella pancake. Strawberry banana in the pancake, Nutella on top. It is the best breakfast food east of the Mississippi, and you will never change my mind on that. It is elite. Also, a really good one that a diner does right near me is during the winter, they swirl cinnamon and then top it like a cinnamon sugar, like cinnamon roll almost, and then they top it with like a cream cheese icing. It's basically a giant flat cinnamon roll. Those are elite too. Pumpkin spice is good. Raspberry underrated for sure. Raspberry underrated for sure. Southern food sucks. I don't know about that, dude. As a born and raised New Englander, Southern food's pretty good. How's my diabetes doing? Indy, listen. My cholesterol, all my sugar levels, solid, dude. I just got my blood tested. Nutella's horrid with bananas. Guys. Can we have some shame, please? Can we have some shame, please? Chad, I've taken out our shotgunning for the night. I'm prepared. Hearing me describe that pancake? No. Vegemite, guys. No, 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 no. Nutella is so good. Don't even pretend like Nutella's bad. No, no, no. I'm not taking this. Nope. Not taking this heat. It is an athletic beer, yes. Overrated. It is. Oh, I will say overrated. Fine, because it got so much hype. Like what? Like when those Kanye glasses were cool. You know, the ones that had like it was like the visor, but it had the cross across it. Nutella got overrated, but now that it's kind of back to being underrated, it's very good. Who's starting that? I'm sorry, I missed that on the broadcast. Did they just say who's starting tomorrow's game? Chad, I had a hair on my chin and nobody told me. Crazy. It is good. I like it, Dave. Yeah, after my bachelor trip, I decided I'm cutting back on the alcoholic brews for a bit. I'd like my brother's graduation, my bachelor trip, and one of my good friends from college got married back to back to back weekends. I'm like, I'm gonna take some time off. Did announce the start. Just brought. Okay, thank you. Versatility. Thank you. Oh, is his ankle? It's not as dramatic. Not as cool as the Paul Pierce one. I've hair my chin. Yeah, thanks a lot, Andy. Thank you. You know the Red Sox could use if he was still in his prime? Mitch Moreland. Mitch Moreland would be a perfect Nutella. A good way to gain 20 pounds, guys. Do you guys understand? You can eat things in moderation. Like you don't have to sit there and suck back an entire jar of Nutella in a week. You could leave it there and have one every once in a while for like a month, and you don't gain weight. Watson just threw 3 balls followed by a called strike and then walked the opening batter for Baltimore in the 9th inning. I really like that Mark is narrating this game for us. Fluff? Oh, I do love Fluff too. Dude. On Fluffernutter? Yeah, y'all ain't. You put on white bread, white Italian bread. You put a bunch of peanut butter and then a light layer of fluff, and then you fry it on both sides. Not in oil or anything. You just put a little bit of butter on the pan, fry both sides. Clean. When I was young, did I have a random favorite baseball player? Not random. John Lester was one of my favorite baseball players. Kevin Youkilis. Those are probably the two. I also loved Coco Crisp when he was on the Red Sox, though. Continue talking about what will Romy and Story are healthy. Story's got to get healthy first for me to even have a slight conversation about it. Like you can't even sit here and debate what you do with Story when he comes back because he's got to come. Like how many times has a guy, specifically Story, gotten injured and been like, I'm coming back this date, and then not come back for an entire. Like I'm refusing to play this game with Trevor Story, man. I'm just refusing to do it. I outlived that doctor. All right, one more out, chats, and our win streak moves to 4 straight games. 4? 3? 3 or 4 straight games. 4. I think it's 4. 4 straight weeks of us saving the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, I agree, Tony. They do have to stop doing that. They got to give like a time frame and just sort of end it at that. Thought Story was dead. No, he was actually with the team. For number 4. Come on, baby. Going for your nectarine? Get it out. All right. Rutschman just needs to strike out here. You know what I mean? Like, the game's over, dude. Let's call it a game, shall we? Let's get on with our night. What do you think Roman and Story are talking about right there? Dude still has that thing on his wrist. I don't love that. There it is. There it is. A great play from Cedar Rafael to end it, too. An absolutely fantastic. Cedar was due for an injury, dude. Cedar, or not an injury. Oh, my God. Cedar was due for a big hit. A big fielding. I don't know why. Cause you know what it is? It's because I'm focused on this. And. See, this is what I didn't want. It to spill all over me. But here we are, spilling it all over me. Unfortunate. This was a tough open, chat. Tough open tonight. It's all right. We're going to make it work. There we go. All right. As I like to do, because this was a fantastic game, chat. With a win, we shotgun on this channel tonight. No alcohol in this, so YouTube, don't get mad at me. There's no alcohol in this. I'm just shotgunning what is essentially kombucha. And that is now 4 shotguns in a row. The Red Sox might not be doing well, but Red Seat, is doing well. That was one of the better games we've watched all year, though. Tolle was fantastic. Tolle was fantastic. The lineup was absolutely incredible. There was a ton of fun times throughout the entire game. I had a good time. I've said this before. I'll say it again. With the Boston Red Sox, especially this year, you need to just enjoy these kind of moments because they're not going to happen a ton. It's just how the team is, you know? So you got to kind of enjoy yourself when these good moments do happen. So I'm enjoying it. We'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. If you can win a series at home tomorrow, I might be saying something really dumb. But regardless, Mr. Money Mike Madness, I'd like to give a special shout out to. Donated a few times during this live stream, and I really appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. Everyone being in here, members, general public, thank you all very much. Members, make sure you vote on the members only page to make sure what we're doing to make up for missing May's live stream. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we had fun tonight. I love you all. Thank you all very much for being here, and I will see you all in the Red Seat.